Yeah.
I'm going to talk about this on the podcast, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
I'm just posting a story, which is literally what I was about to talk about.
Posting stories?
Sort of posting stories and sort of just being more active on the social media as well. Because, so what I was going to say is I think I need to pick a day, maybe in the next couple of weeks, and just try and take a shitload of photos and build up like 20 photos worth of content I can do. And maybe I need to just do that every month.
Yeah.
Go out and take 20 different photos that you can post for the social media, because that's the hard, like I just don't want to post bullshit, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to post shit stuff.
Yeah.
Which is your laptop turned off.
That's awkward.
I think this is the first thing that we should mention is that...
I forgot to turn the fan off?
Yeah. For those of you who didn't notice that Andy just walked out, I'm going to talk very quickly, if you're watching on the YouTube, about how sick our studio setup is now. We've got our background banner on the TV of the Uneducated Opinions logo, and all credit to Andy for basically doing everything that was involved on supplying the TV, doing the artwork, bringing in his laptop, buying a HDMI cable, providing the space that we have set the studio up in. So all credit to Andy, and the one job that I had was social media that I have not been pulling my weight in.
It's not bad. Do you think it's inauthentic though to like take a bunch of photos that don't really matter to you? Like I like when you do stuff that is good. Like I liked the photo that you took of your food the other day, but I was like, yeah, whatever. Like that's not
Uneducated opinions.
No, it's just not interesting to me.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you make a meme and I'm like, fuck, Steve, that is hilarious. That day when I first said, oh, we should repost this meme, and you're like, no, we're above memes. I was like, are we?
Yeah, but then I thought, well, if we created our own memes, because the problem is I just didn't want to become
another meme page.
A meme page that just posts memes all the time, because that's not what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, where it is balls hot already.
Yeah, you can face that towards you more, because I'm alright.
Are you actually?
I don't know. I don't know if that's coming towards me or not. Well, we need two of them.
2 fans.
Yeah.
Did you buy this?
Yeah.
Yeah. For this?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, you were like, last time we recorded upstairs, you were complaining that it was too hot, but it was also too loud. So I got this.
Yeah. And it's quiet. So for those, well, you can't see regardless, but
I didn't
Andy
know if that's
bought
filming.
a Vornado.
A Vornado?
Which is just a little silent fan that... Where'd you buy it from?
Costco.
How much was it?
I don't want to tell you.
Oh.
It's like 180.
Oh, what?
Yeah. They're really quiet though.
Yeah, you shouldn't have spent $180 on a podcast that's making us no money.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I can use it on the other podcast.
That's true. Is it a deduction?
From the podcast? Yeah, from any future earnings. Just know that I'm going to take my share of that 180. So far, the share I'm going to take out of the podcast when it starts making money is $40 for this HDMI cable.
And $180 for that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Everything else. And
already
when
here.
Yeah. And when this lease starts, actually costing us money.
Yeah. When we have to start paying. We could create an Uneducated Opinions business, and then when we do that, we can pay rent here.
So what would you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Maybe we take up 15 square meters.
Well, what's that? That's like, I don't know, 2%?
This is 300 square meters.
So exactly 2% of the space?
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah, so we'd have to pay 2% of the rent. That seems fair.
What's 2% of I don't want to tell people.
Yeah, I was very specific not to say anything about money. Maybe don't tell people what you pay rent on. Anyway, do you want to do intro today?
No, you can do intro today.
You want me to do
I
intro
feel like
today?
I always do the intro.
Yeah, but I always do outro.
Yeah, that's true. Hey guys, welcome to the Uneducated Opinions podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and this is Steve. This podcast is about two guys sitting down, like you do at a pub when you're having a couple of beers. The conversation starts rolling, you talk about everything and anything, but you actually know nothing about what you're talking about. And that's the premise for this podcast.
Is that saying supposed to go everything and anything or anything and everything?
I don't know. I think I change it every time.
Yeah. I think you do change it every time.
What did I say? Everything and anything?
Everything and anything.
Anything and everything. Oh yeah, it is anything
Anything and everything.
Who cares though, right? Does it matter? Does it bother you when idioms are pronounced wrong?
Yes.
Really?
Even though I do them wrong all the time.
What is another, like, Aussie colloquial idiom that you would get mad if someone's saying something wrong? Like I'll mention.
Ahead of the curb instead of ahead of the curve.
Kush actually says that.
Does she?
Yeah. And I'm like, Kush, you understand that it's ahead of the curve, right? And she's like, why would you need to be ahead of a curve when you need to be ahead of a curb? I'm like, why would you ever need to be ahead of a curb?
Does she understand how trends work? That's the idea of the saying, isn't it? Like the trend curve.
Yeah. No, I don't think she does understand that. And now she just says it to annoy me. Are you unplugged again?
No.
Oh.
But my phone has decided. Oh, it kept recording. It's okay. My phone must have decided that I said, "Hey Google" at some point.
Yeah.
And it tried to do a Google search, which is in flight mode, so that makes no sense.
Ah.
Why it even picked up that, but
Do you ever just say, "Hey Google" randomly just to see what happens?
I use it whenever I'm setting an alarm.
I do that too because you can do it with hands-free.
Yeah. So if I'm going to set especially the only time I really use it is when I'm having a nap. Like if I can try and have if I'm like, I can fit in a 40-minute lie down before I have to go back to work.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Hey Google, set an alarm for 40 minutes from now.
And it'll do that?
Yeah, and it'll do it every time. I wonder if I was worried then that it was going to maybe pick it up really well because we got the headphone on, the microphones in.
No, I think those things are disabled when you have headphones in.
Are they?
I think so. I mean, it is on my phone. Like, when I say something, it's just like, doesn't do anything. At least I hope, that other girl isn't doing stuff now. Siri.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
I don't want to say her name in case she starts
Popping up on there?
popping up, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I really like, what's that meme that you really, really enjoyed about having...
The wiretap?
The wiretap.
God, that is so funny. And I mean, that's part of why we wanted to have the screen here is to show people things like that we've collected over the week.
Yeah.
And in the future, I guess that's something that we do baby steps, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We can't do everything at once. Today we have the
Also,
logo.
we're both huge procrastinators. So,
Well, I actually got the HDMI cable in
yeah,
time.
I know. Yeah, I'm very surprised that you went and got that. When did you get it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, there you go. Was it much out of your way?
Yes.
Oh.
No. No, it was. Because originally I bought one, and it was the wrong thing.
Oh no.
So I had to go back.
Because you need that lightning jack thing. Hey?
Yeah, it's a weird one for this particular Apple laptop.
Yeah. Apple has a really good habit of ensuring that none of their products are compatible with anything else.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that they do. But
do you think there was initially a move to try and get a monopoly on technology?
Yeah, I just think they just wanted to make products that go with their own products. Keep it all in the family, make it real incestuous. And they did a really good job doing that.
Yeah. I guess they do have probably enough of a percentage of the market that they can afford to keep doing that. Whereas I think if someone like Google with their phones and stuff made their phones incompatible with everything else from the beginning, whereas they're compatible with all other Android stuff, right?
Yeah.
If they made themselves incompatible with everything else from the very start, from the get-go, everyone would just be like, well, fuck that, I'm not getting them then.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Andy's disappeared for those not watching.
Just the dust is affecting me really crazily. But I think you have to understand that just because they've got different stuff for their laptops and whatever, the Microsoft isn't like, like PCs are conformed to like the Microsoft code and stuff like that, right? So it was actually Microsoft that was going for the monopoly. And Apple was just sticking in their lane, so that like their lane is like making things for like video editing or photo editing and stuff like that. Yeah, it'll probably die soon. I didn't charge it fully.
No, that's okay. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
So, would you care to tell us what today's episode is sponsored by?
Today's episode is sponsored by baby tanning lotion.
Do you have some in here? Is that why you looked around and realised that's what you were going to go for?
No, I just saw like that skeleton over there. It looked all wrinkly. I was like, that looks like something that's had too much tan on it.
Is that actually the thought process that your head just went through?
Yeah. I like the pumpkin.
Yeah,
orange.
I can't believe that's the thought process your head went through. Can you explain to people how your head went through that thought process?
Well, let me explain the sponsor first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, like, you know when you take your baby into the sun and it gets like too wrinkly?
Yeah.
You don't want that. It's not good for the baby, but you also don't want a pasty ass baby.
No, that's fair.
So we don't want pasty, we don't want wrinkly, so baby tan lotion. That's what you want for your baby. And that's what this podcast is brought to you by today.
Does it have
A name?
a name?
Yes. Baby tan lotion.
Okay, there you go. What are the health benefits and negatives? What are the side effects?
Well, are you sick of having a vampire-looking baby? Then this will help you. Are you sick of having a regular... I don't know. I guess you could work... It works two ways. Like, if you had a too darker baby and you needed to lighten it up to convince the father, then you could also use the tan lotion.
Okay, so it works both
ways, yeah.
So you really...
It's basically just baby paint. So this podcast is brought to you by Baby Paint.
Yeah, okay. Does it come in different shades? Depending on
It
what the
can
goal
now.
is?
It is now.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
next. That's a summer release.
Okay, right. That makes more sense. Okay, cool. Can I use it for myself?
You can.
Yeah. Anyone watching, this is probably going to happen 5 or 6 times throughout the episode, where the Uneducated Opinions banner comes off as Andy's laptop tries to go to sleep. But that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Look,
Baby steps.
baby steps.
And baby tanning lotion.
And baby tanning lotion. So thank you so much, guys, for sponsoring this episode. And if you guys want to check it out, just go to www.babytanlotion.com.au because it's an Australian brand.
Yeah.
Always buy Australian products. Every tanning lotion sold goes towards babies without skin, which is a foundation.
Thank you. And if you /Uneducated Opinions, you'll get 15% off.
That's a pretty good deal.
Well, considering it's already only $50 a bottle for a 1 litre tub, that brings it down a fair bit.
And the reason
$42.50.
the reason I like the tubs as opposed to buying just like the little packets is you can just dip, and that's what you want. You don't want to have to like, rub.
Well, if
the
you
baby.
just dip the whole head in, then you can basically grab a cloth and spread the rest of the way, and it's probably the best way to get an even coverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And remember, sometimes it takes 2 to 3 coats. Wait for it to dry.
I feel like we run with this for a lot longer than we had to. That was well done, though. That was on the spot. I really want someone to go and Google that. Baby tanning lotion. We should make a fake website.
We already procrastinate on doing the stuff that's important.
That's important about it.
The podcast. Anyway,
well, maybe if this ever did make enough money that I wouldn't have to do other work as much, then maybe it would be like, oh, this is work, so I'll do it. But at the moment, this is fun.
It was only the other day that I realized that this is a lot of fun. And, like, I listen back to them now. At first, I didn't listen back to them. But now that we're making those shorts,
Mm.
I started listening to them, and I was like, oh, like this is actually pretty fun.
I listened to everyone up to about episode 8,
Yeah.
and then I didn't listen to 9, 10, 11, 12, and then I listened to 13 again, and I'll listen back to this one for that reason, so that I can try and... Andy cuts all the snippets for me to post, so I'm trying to listen back to them and be like, hey, here's a good snippet. Do you want like the shorts to be longer? Like yesterday, like last time you sent me like a 3-minute one that was... I haven't posted it yet, but I guess I'll post it today. So, but you sent me like a 3-minute one of insecurities or whatever it was.
From last episode.
From last episode. Do we want ones that we can only really post on Instagram TV, or do we want ones that we can post as...
It doesn't matter.
normal videos?
As long as they're, like, you can see, like, the self-contained bits.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this baby tan lotion that is a real product, that would have been, like, maybe a minute or so.
And we will make more sponsorship money. We have an agreement with them. We have to do at least 2 posts about baby tan lotion anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should be sponsored by a new thing every episode. Up until we maybe actually have a sponsor.
Well, we might have to start drinking beer on the episodes again, because otherwise I feel like we're never going to get beer sponsors if that was the initial goal.
That was the goal. Well, originally we were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could just, get a beer company to sponsor each episode and give us a beer?
I have a funny story for you. I got a message from my cousin today who is doing work in the mines in Perth.
Yep.
And he sent me a text and said, hey, next time you're doing an Uneducated Opinions episode where you're actually drinking a beer, he goes, try this one, Emu Brew or something. It's Emu something. Huge in WA. And then he called me later and was like, hey, also, do you think you could go and get me 4 cartons of it? Because he flies back in on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to get to the bottle. I don't know why he needs 4 cartons, but I'm assuming he's stocking up for into the new year.
Yeah.
Because he's in love with his beer at the moment. And I was like, oh man, I've been on like BWS and Dan Murphy's website and stuff, and they all say only available in WA.
Yeah.
And he called me, and he sent me a text message back. He was like, oh shit, he goes, is there any Liquorlands near you?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I went on their website as well, and I was like, no, they're only in WA as well, like those Liquorlands. And he's like, what about celebrations? And I was like, yeah, there's a few celebrations around. And he goes, yeah, there's one in, the celebrations in Appin sells it. And I was like, mate, I'm not driving to Appin for you so I can pick up 4 cartons of this beer. I was like, you're kidding yourself if you think I'm driving to Appin. So Michael, get fucked, I'm not doing that.
So, what time are you leaving to go to Appin?
No, I'm not. Appin, how long would it take to get to Appin? It's like a good hour and a half drive. Yeah. It's a decent drive.
Against the grain. That's another idiom that someone could get wrong. I've never heard it pronounced wrong, but...
Against the grain.
Yeah.
There's a few that people get wrong. What's one? There's one that I said to you a little while ago that I always get wrong.
You have a mental blank?
Mm.
Yeah, well, let's move on to another topic then. We'll save this one for a day where we collected some
idioms. Yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what's really annoying to me?
What?
Like, I got here on time today.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And I was here perfectly at, the specified time that you chose.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't here.
Yeah, I was 5 minutes late today.
How late is too late?
I think it depends on the event.
Okay, like job interview.
Job interview? Any later than 20 minutes early and you're too late.
You reckon?
Yeah, I wouldn't hire someone if they weren't at least 15 minutes early to the interview.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you know if you had like a whole bunch of people coming through?
Because there has to be someone feeding them in, right?
Yeah.
That's like a secretary
so
or someone
recording
out there.
The times that they come?
Someone what time they came in.
How early is too early for a job interview then? An hour?
An hour is definitely too early. I think anything inside half an hour is acceptable. Once you go outside of that half an hour, then you're just clogging up space in their business. But if I had an important job interview, I would genuinely aim to be there an hour early, and then I would find somewhere to get a coffee nearby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somewhere you can spy on the interview from if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a good set of binoculars. I just sit up on the back of my ute.
Do you have a good set of binoculars?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Not here. No.
Can you bring them in one day?
Yeah. I can bring them in and sit them here.
That'd be
should
so
do that.
cool.
Yeah. Are we going to try and bring something in
Every day.
every time? I feel like you've contributed. I feel like I'll bring something in next time.
I brought a laptop in this time.
Mm.
But yeah,
Should we bring in a Christmas tree for the Christmas podcast?
Yes.
Yes. Just a small one.
Yeah.
I'll get a small one. Actually, I've got to go back up to the shop tomorrow to do some more Christmas shopping, so I'll get that then. Hey, how much money... I feel like we're going away from what you were going to talk about. Let's go back to what you were talking about, because I can save this for the Christmas podcast.
Okay. So, yeah. So 45 is still...
A little bit too early. For a job interview, yeah.
What about like an event?
An event, you...
Like when I say event, like a party.
A party, yeah. So a party, you cannot arrive to a party any earlier than 5 minutes early.
Yes,
if you're any earlier than 5 minutes early to a party, you're a dick, because they're still trying to set up for the party.
And does it change if it's like a weekend party or a weekday party? Like a Friday night party, you do not get there early, right?
Yeah. Well, in a Friday night party, everyone's going to be late.
Yeah.
Because everyone knocks off work and then they take their time, and like you say 7, and then half the party didn't even knock off work till 5:30. By the time they get home, have a shower, get ready, order an Uber, get out there or drive out there. Yeah, you're always going to have people late. So to be early is a pain in the ass for the person that's organising it.
And how late is too late?
Again, it depends on the event. If you're having like a small gathering of people where there's going to be a barbecue put on and that sort of thing, and you're having friends over, don't be more than half an hour late.
Really, half an hour?
Dick move, yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, dick move.
Unless you've already told them that you're going to be late.
Yes, but telling them that you're going to be late half an hour before you're going to be late is not acceptable. Andy.
Why? Who do I do that?
Yes.
Do I really?
Yes. When we used to have barbecues at Kellyville and stuff,
Yeah.
you and Shannon and Jane would be an hour late easy every time, and you would tell me half an hour before it was supposed to start.
Yeah. Shannon's pretty good at being on time.
Yeah.
It's Jane that is terrible.
Okay.
And I'm pretty bad myself.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I run on Andy time.
Yes. I feel like we've spoken about this before.
Yeah, we've
but
spoken about that.
That's fine. There's Andy time, that's for sure. But as I noted to you when I came in, I feel like the only times that you are dead on time is when I'm running a little bit late. Because I don't really run late that often.
Not really late, but like you run on time. Like you run like you're not work starts at 3 o'clock. I'll be here at 3:05. You're like I'll be here at 3 o'clock, and you're there at 3 o'clock.
I think it depends. I generally try and get
You're not
here.
like a 10-minute early kind of.
If I'm starting at 6 a.m. classes, for example, I'll always be there like maybe 10 to 6.
Yeah.
Or 5 to 6. I'll never be there too early. 4:30 classes, generally I try and be there for like 4:15 at the latest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
99%
that's
of the
pretty
time.
good. I put a swipe system on my front door so I could be late in the mornings and not feel bad about it.
Did you actually?
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
why we have the swipe system.
Oh.
So that if I sleep in or if something happens, like a giant huntsman attacks me, then
Were you late that day?
when the huntsman attacked,
Yeah.
no, I
No.
wasn't, surprisingly.
No. Is that because you drove super fast to get out of the car as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than just pulling over and getting rid of the spider quickly?
No, I had to do it here for some reason,
So that someone else could do it for you?
so someone else could do it. And I didn't want to have
Robin?
to wake up Shannon and Jade.
That would have been funny. If you had gone and woken up, you should have done that. You should have gone and woken up Shannon and asked him to come and fix the spider situation for you.
He would have like saved it. He wouldn't have killed it. And I couldn't have that, especially near our house. Like,
Yeah.
who would have come inside?
Are you an on-time person, like for work?
For work, I am
So
normally.
not as in on time, as in you're not really early. So say you have to get here at 4:30.
I will be here at 4:30.
At 4:30, yeah. Okay, so providing you're not like training beforehand,
Yeah.
you're going to be here at 4:30. You're not
Yeah.
going to be here at 4. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get somewhere like 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
I'll be there on time, or
I think for me, it depends on the type of work that I'm doing and the relationship I have with the employer
Yeah.
as well. Like if it's casual work, like someone that I don't really have any sort of a relationship with, I'm always going to be...
Late.
No, I'm always going to be early just for
Yeah.
that impression's sake. Like I'm always going to be half an hour early to a job. Like when I used to do
The railway stuff.
railway stuff or labouring stuff for some people, I would always be there 30 to 40 minutes early.
Yeah.
And that was just a precaution for if something went wrong on the trip. I didn't want to be late. Whereas if I'm getting up for a 6 a.m. class, like I'm not aiming to be there at 5:30 in case I get a flat tire on the way, because of the hopefully anyway, because of the relationship I have with the employer. If I get a flat tire on the way, hopefully there's going to be just the understanding that shit happens, and like I couldn't get there, like just something went wrong. It happens once in a blue moon, sort of thing. But
Are you that hot?
yeah, I get really hot. I did have a note about the on time to parties. This is something that I've realised recently is, and I don't know if we've spoken about it on here before, but I had the conversation with someone the other day. It may not have been on here though. Is that I hate personally being fashionably late to a party.
You like to be on time?
I like to be on time to parties. And there's a couple of reasons for that. A is because I hate when people are late to something that I put on.
Yep.
It gives me the shits. But reason B is when it's like a bigger party, I realised that if you are there late, the cliques of the party have already formed.
Yep.
And it's very, like if you're talking like a 60-person party, for example, you walk in.
That's a big party.
It is a big party. Well, you remember I'm still doing like 21sts.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that's right.
But if
Contrary to what you look like.
if you walk into a party and there's already 60 people there, the cliques of the party have already formed, and
Yeah.
people are already off talking in individual groups, and then it's very hard to break into a group. Like you kind of got to stand awkwardly on the edge of the circle for a little bit, and then chime into a conversation at some point, try and make some sort of contribution that then makes you part of the group.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're there on time, there's only 5 or 6 other people there by the time you get there, you can be there for when that formation sort of happens. And also you get a chance to have a decent conversation with whoever's putting the party on. Whereas if there's already a whole bunch of people there, they're already off doing other stuff by the time you get there.
Are you a fan of, you know how at parties, especially when there's like a lot of drinking and stuff, you often see, I'm just going to turn this off because my laptop died.
Okay. Andy's laptop died.
You often see people like split off into like pairs to like have like deep and meaningfuls.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when those take up like 20, 30, 40 minutes of time for like just two people disappear.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like, when it's the person whose party it is. Like, do you think as the...
That's a big thing that girls do.
Girls do it a lot, but I've been at like 2 boxes now where stuff like that has happened, and I've just been
really?
like, okay, so I guess, you know, the party is over, that everyone's just talking, like,
Yeah.
you know, where are the drugs at?
Am I going to have to wait for these, or what's going on? Yeah. Yeah,
I really don't like that. Like, I think as a host, or the person that the party's name is in,
You can't disappear.
Yeah, you have obligation to be around. You have a responsibility to keep all your guests happy. The party's not for you. You're throwing it. It's for the people you're throwing it for. That's how I feel as a host.
That's how you feel as a host?
Yeah. Do you disagree?
I don't know. Yeah. I like putting... Like, if I'm having people over...
Yeah.
I'm having people over because I want to enjoy myself as well.
Yeah.
Like, and I think people fall into the trap of having a whole bunch of people over and ruining the night for themselves because of how much work they have to do
Yeah.
to keep everyone else happy. Like, you're putting on a party and then you have to cook during the party, and then you have to go make a run for more food. You have to clean everything up on the spot as the party's going. You're getting everyone more drinks. You're doing this, you're doing that. You're the one controlling the music. You're doing everything. It just becomes very... You're no longer enjoying it yourself.
Yeah.
You're just too busy hassling over the fact that everyone else needs to enjoy it. And I think that's pretty shit. I don't think that's like overly enjoyable. But that would explain why you don't really put on events.
Yeah. Because of the work.
And we've spoken about this in our beer etiquette episode as well. Do you think your opinion of you're the host, you're putting it on for everyone else is a cultural thing as well?
Yeah, it's 100% is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it colors everything I do.
Yeah.
Because I know the amount of work that, like for example, Halloween. Like you saw the amount of work I put into
The party.
like set up everything, make everything, like dress up the entire gym and all of that stuff.
Do you think that's a little bit different though because it's a business thing as well? Like you're doing it for members and you're the owner of a gym, as opposed to everyone wanted to have a barbecue and it was you just offered up your house?
No, I treat that the same as my like personal thing, because everyone who came were like friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like they're all my like really really good friends.
Yeah.
They just also, I mean, that's an odd situation I'm in where like basically I have all of, like some really close friends pay me money.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis, and that's really weird for me.
That's becoming weird for me with programming as well.
Yeah.
Having friends pay you. Do you find it weird to ask for the money in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, is it a hard conversation to have when you're like they're a good friend, I kind of don't want to ask them for money, but at the same time it's going to take up hours of my week. Like, kind of have to ask for money, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's weird, but like if you have like this, I said this on the Raw podcast as well a few weeks ago. The biggest thing that you can do to take the awkwardness out of something is to have some sort of paperwork or have like a sit down conversation where you say, this is what I'm providing you, this is what I require in return, this is the reason I need this, and this is the reason you need this. So like for the gym, it's like, hey, you're
using
my best friend.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming and training here.
Yeah.
For me to keep this place running, I need to pay rent.
Yeah.
This is where this money is going towards, and I would like to help you in this aspect.
Yeah.
And then like go from there. The same thing that we did when you started working here as well. It's like I was like, what is your like? Do you mind if we have a quick chat just so I can say like, this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
And this is what you want to like do, and I know you're doing this to help me out, to give me time off and whatnot, which I'm super grateful for.
But at the same time, you're paying me for my time.
But at the same time, I'm paying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now there's like a facility that I have access to as well. Like,
yeah, that too. But like we had to like sit down just to like have a quick talk about what our expectations were.
Yeah, for sure.
And then go from there.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, I always tried to, like, I know, like, when you first started the gym and stuff, like, I have a good understanding, and I understand how awkward it is to ask friends for money, even in, like, a social setting.
Yeah.
It's really awkward to ask friends for money, even if, like, you've paid for something. But that's why, like, I've done it with you, and I've done it with a couple other people. Like, if you go and use a friend's facilities, for example, like, I tried to leave $10 or leave $15 or something like that.
Yes.
Just because
and even
I know,
if I say no,
because I know you're not going to ask for it.
Yeah.
Even though you probably need it, like for that reason. And I think, and that's something that's been drilled in from like my parents. And Mum made a really good point to me once. That was like, if you're going to start a business, you can't be doing pro bono work for friends.
Yeah.
And then I sort of came back and said, yeah, but they're your friends. Like, they're going to expect that you get mates rates for friends. And then she said, well, if your mates can't understand the fact that you have to pay bills, then they're not really your mates anyway. A good mate is you say, hey, look, I'm doing this service for you, but that's taking up time into the money that I can make to put food on my table.
Yeah.
They're going to understand and be like, yeah, okay, well, I need to pay you for that then. Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think if you have a friend that is asking you for a service or for a product, like I will go out of my way to find friends now to do work for me, and I'll pay them their like rates, because like I'm gonna pay it anyway,
You're gonna pay anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not gonna say no if they give me like a slight discount or help me out a little bit, but I'm not gonna go crazy. Like, I'm not gonna go crazy for it. Direct that towards you more if you want.
It's all good.
I'll put it down more because it's probably just blowing straight upwards. Is that better?
Yes.
Because that's better for me now. It's actually
Is it?
blowing
Okay.
at me.
There you go. Yeah, that tastes better for me. It's on my legs now, as opposed to up over the top of my head.
Yeah, but it's not doing anything.
Yeah. Do you find it awkward to ask for someone for money in the social setting as well? Like you've gone out and like you and me have it really good where like we go get lunch every now and then, and it's pretty. Both of us have kind of kept track of who paid for the last one, and then the next person pays, and so on and so forth. But do you find it really hard that if, for example, when Shannon bought us those concert tickets, the Tom Segura tickets, to actually, if you did that and you spent the money, do you find it awkward to be like, hey, here's my bank details, can you please send me the money for that?
No, like I'm really good at paying for that stuff because I've been left in the lurch before, and I hate to be that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty bad at doing the opposite, like getting people to
actually pay you.
Yeah.
A girl from the gym the other day made a really good point that was like, you go out and everyone's getting lunch or something, and everyone puts it all in the same order because you're doing a sit down lunch. And
the last person to pay has to pay extra because
not necessarily. No, that's what she was saying. But she said like. And I've experienced this as well. She gets herself caught being like, you're out with 3 friends, and you just go, and they're like, and you just go, no, not even I'll get it, but like, some places are like, we don't do a split bill, so we're not going to split it for you. And then you go, oh yeah, I'll get it, just TF me some money.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, okay, no worries. But no one actually TFs you straight off the bat. And then you need to chase people for what seems to them like an insignificant amount of money.
Yeah.
So you have to, say you had 5 friends out for lunch,
yeah,
and you need to chase each of them for $30. It seems insignificant when I call you and go, hey, can you please send me that $30? Because you're like, it's just $30, like calm down.
But it's $150.
But it's $150, it's not $30. And people really struggle to understand that. And I feel like I've been accused before by a friend that was like of keeping track of money too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but there's so many of you that like I bought this for.
Yeah.
Like it really adds up by the end. So yes, it's only $15 to you, but it's $15 times 8 to other people.
Yes.
Like, so it's not just $15, it's over $100, which is a bit of money to be out of pocket when you're just talking about like your weekly expenditure.
It is a lot. And I think that's the worst. And I keep track of it as well. Like I won't, like, I may come across as like, oh, like, yeah, I'll pay for this, that's okay. But like, in your head, you always have those calculations because you have budgets, you have bills to pay, you have other responsibilities, like...
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that's a shitty thing that's a shitty position to be in. Like, you want to transfer that straight away if you've done that.
And also because, I don't know if you're like this, but I am the sort of person that almost out of habit is like, oh, don't worry about it, like I'll get it, that's fine. So you are already constantly putting yourself out of pocket without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I just realized that I have to pay someone.
Did you? Yeah. For what?
For product.
Oh, okay.
And it's not a small amount as well.
Oh, okay.
It's like $1,000.
Is it something that you're invoiced for though?
Huh?
Is it like an invoice thing, or is it something that someone just covered for you?
No. Like I bought some stuff from a shop that.
From work?
For work.
Okay,
and they're like, oh, we won't put this one through the till, like, just transfer me the money.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I forgot to do it.
Definitely don't mention the company name.
No. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, okay. While I'm thinking
terrible
about
person.
it. Yeah, very.
Got up on my soapbox for that, and then...
Do you find when you have this conversation with someone though, you're constantly recounting the things in your head that like, have I like left them hanging for money at some point?
Yes.
Like right now as we're having this conversation, I'm going, are there things that I should have paid Andy for that I didn't pay Andy for? And now like, I'm sitting here thinking, is he secretly
judging?
Is he secretly judging?
No, you're really good at that stuff.
I get that in my head though. Like I'm like, is there something that like I should have paid Andy for that I
Yeah.
haven't paid Andy for, or something like that?
Like that time that you paid for lunch and then I didn't pay for lunch because I forgot. And then the next time I was like, oh, I forgot last time. Do you remember that?
Yeah. And I was like, I know you forgot.
But you didn't bring it up, but secretly you were judging me that
Secretly,
time.
I was like, this motherfucker, he's making me pay for my own lunch. That's okay. What do you think
I don't think you should pay for someone's stuff with the explicit intention of getting something getting them to pay back.
But
Steve.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's a little bit like the beer economy, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's the lunch economy. So I have
Wait, what's the beer economy?
the beer economy. The idea of the beer economy is if I buy you a beer today,
Yeah.
at some point in the economy, it's going to come back to me.
Okay.
Just because at some point we're going to be out and you're going to be like, don't worry, I got the beer. Like when we went to the Marsden that time, like I think you bought me 2 beers at the Marsden.
Yeah.
Just for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that it tends to come back. I find I do it when I have a decent amount in my spending account for the week.
Yeah.
Where like I've got stuff over there and I'm like, oh, I've got a little bit of extra money to play with this week. Like I'm more than happy to get you a lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a credit card?
No.
That's why it's not all the time. If you have a credit card, sky's the limit. You have a beer, you get a beer.
Just tap it on my MasterCard. Yeah.
Do you think you're not an adult yet because you don't have a credit card?
I'm not an adult. I don't know if I'll ever get a credit card. Yeah.
Fair.
I think because I have an issue with that, and I can see myself being the type of person that'll get myself in a position where I owe too much money.
Yeah.
And also because really, should you really be spending money that you don't have anyway?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should. Well, if you know how much money you're getting in, then it's fine.
Yes.
Jack, is that you? Oh, hey. Oh, damn it, Zafia.
Hey, Jack.
How much time do we have left?
We still have 20 minutes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So on Christmas Eve, my cousin flies in, like I told you earlier, flies in from Perth at 9 p.m. and I said I would go and pick him up, which is fine. I don't mind going to pick him up because he's going to come stay at my place Christmas Eve. We'll have a couple of beers that night and probably a couple of glasses of scotch, so that's fine.
Yeah.
At what point is it a task that you're doing for a favor for someone?
Yeah.
And at what point does it become something that now it's like so much out of your way that like you need to be reimbursed for it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Knowing where you live, I feel like just leaving your house is a task.
So for me, it'll be a 2-hour drive back from the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say that's instantly not worth it.
Yeah, yeah, buddy's family. And I'll come and train here that morning as well. So it's not too bad. But, or I can just organise to be in Castle Hill and then it's less of a drive, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like at what point is it then something that you have to be like, it's actually costing me a lot of money to come
So
pick
I think
you up?
picking someone up from the airport is the ultimate show of like, I'm doing something for you.
Yeah.
Like if people say like gifts are, like anyone can give a gift, but like showing your appreciation for someone or showing your love for someone through action was like currency. Going to pick someone up from the airport is like the ultimate currency in Sydney because that is the worst trip you'll ever make.
Oh, it's a shit flight, isn't it?
It is disgusting.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So like I know like Kush is going to come back in February and I'll probably end up going to pick her up from this train station.
Mulgrave, the one literally 2 minutes down the road.
No, like I'll go pick her up from the airport.
Yeah.
And like...
Because she's coming back in February?
Yeah.
Cool.
End
Just
of
briefly?
February. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's like the ultimate. There's not many people that I'd do that for.
Yeah.
Unless they asked or like, and like I was like, we're not that close.
Yeah. I'm maybe busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got something on that I can't get out of, so sorry. I've done that for people before. Like I've had plenty of people ask me to pick them up from the airport and you're like, we're not that close. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. find myself getting stuck in the situation where, actually, I had another point that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
I think something that's really cool, especially amongst men, for example, like I know I'll go and pick my cousin up on Christmas Eve, and maybe we won't because of the timing at night and everything will be shut. But if I were to be picking him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and we know we're going back to my place for beers, we would 100% be stopping in probably to a pub for a beer and lunch, and then we'd get a carton of beer and go back to my place, and that would be all on him.
Yes.
Like, and he wouldn't. And that's one thing that's really good, especially amongst men.
Yeah.
But at what point are you asking too much as well? Like, for someone to come out and pick you up all the way from the airport, like, do you need something in return for that? I guess is the question that I'm actually asking.
Yeah. I think you get, well, like, you're only doing it for someone's close, like family. Like, if my sister asked me or mum or dad asked me, I'd probably do it, and I get a lot out of them just from being around them, their presence. Yeah. But then, you know, like, we're pretty close, and if you asked me, I'd have to think about it. Like, I wouldn't be an instant, yeah, sure, man. Yeah. I'd have to go through my head, like, wait, why does he need me to pick him up? Like, is there some important reason? And the other thing is, it might be faster for you to just catch public transport sometimes, depending on what time you fly in.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll tell him that he needs to catch public transport.
I mean, it might be faster for him. Wait, no, at 9 o'clock it's not faster.
No.
He'll be super, and like, especially if he's...
From Castle Hill, it's only a 40-minute trip into the airport at that time of day.
Yeah.
When everything's, like, not busy.
Yeah, but getting to your house is impossible from...
That's the other thing, I guess, is it is a lot further out. I still find myself, like, agreeing to things as if I still lived in Kellyville.
Yeah.
As well. Like, I find myself, someone being like, hey...
How much does an Uber cost from from the airport to your place?
They wouldn't take me to my house.
Like, to the, I don't know, to the top of your driveway.
An Uber wouldn't take me to the top of my... I don't think they'd take me.
Really?
I don't think so. No, I think that's well out of their range. Like, you definitely couldn't order an Uber from my house.
No, but from the airport to your house.
How much would it cost?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be skyward of $200.
Yeah, so it's for me, that $200 is still not worth it to make that drive up and back.
Well, you're the type of person that if someone offered you, if you agreed to go and pick someone up because they were like, hey, I am going to pay $150 for a cab anyway. Yeah. I'd rather just give you $150 because it's a better conversation. Would you go and pick them up?
No, I'd see that as a slight. Mad about it. I'd be like, you think my company's only worth $150?
I love how you can twist it. Yeah, that's good. I'm really self-conscious about the fact that there's other people in the gym.
I'm not. Would you?
Would I?
Yeah, would you take that? Yeah. Like, if I was like, hey, dude, like, I'm flying in.
But the problem is, I would actually pick you up and you'd be like, hey, here's $150. And I'd be like, nah, it's all right, just buy me lunch.
And so you expect a $150 lunch then?
Yeah. No, but we'd go to get a feed. Like, we'd get sushi or something, and I'd be like, that's all right, sushi's on you, and then we're square.
Yeah.
That's all good. Like, I really think that that's where the economy is in friendship.
Yeah.
Favours are favours amongst friends. They're favours. But then, from my point of view, if you've done me a favour, especially a favour of that size, then it's still on me to cover you somehow or get you back, like, in some way. It doesn't need to be me paying you money, but maybe I have to buy you lunch or drop off a carton of beer to your place next time I'm swinging by.
So you brought up, when you first brought this topic up, that this is something that men do a lot. Do you think women don't do this quid pro quo?
I don't think it's as large, no. Oh.
Why is that? I feel like women...
No, we're
like,
not doing it today.
What?
We're not doing it.
Doing what?
We did the Steve sexism 2 weeks ago. We're not doing it again today.
No, I'm genuinely curious why you think that. You don't see women doing that?
Maybe it's just because I'm not a woman.
Is it because they wouldn't make it to the airport?
No.
Is it driving ability
I
you're worried about?
I don't think there seems to be as much of like a beer economy amongst women as what there is again amongst men.
What about a wine economy? Wine's more expensive sometimes.
Is there a wine economy though? Again, I'm not in the circle.
Hey, Zofia. If you go out to a party and someone buys you a wine, would you like be like, oh, I need to get them a wine straight away, or would you like? Do you guys do rounds as women?
No. I feel like you're going about this the wrong way. The question should be worded: if you go out, for women in general, if you go out for a drink and you only end up having one drink when you're out, and you got the first one that time you went out, is it quite likely that your friends, when you go out again a month later, are going to remember you bought that one drink and be the first ones to buy the drink?
Oh,
She said never. That would never happen.
she did say that. What? As if it
It
does
does happen with boys. Just because you're a dick, Jack.
No, Jack's really good at stuff. Yeah.
I'm actually good at it.
I must say, Jack is really good at that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like
there
he
you go.
he'll always get the beer. Like there are people that if I go out with, I know 100% that they're gonna get me next time, or like it'll come around. Like it's karmic, right?
The worst
Jack
one.
is
The
one of
worst
those
one is
people.
people that
Actually,
leave.
Sophia's done it for me as well.
The worst one is people that leave before the end of a round.
Yes.
So there's 4 people in a round. They're number 3 or 4. You've gone through one whole round, and then the first 2 beers are the next one, and then they need to go home. If you actually need to go home, leave the money for your round on the table.
Ooh, that's a fighting word, Steve.
Yeah, you should. You have to. He didn't ask me for it, but me and Jamie went into the city a couple of weeks ago and ended up at this whiskey bar, and it was Jamie's round, and Jamie bought a whole bunch of whiskey sours, which are like $30 a pop.
Yeah.
So way more expensive than any of the other rounds that we have. And me and one of the other guys were like, hey, here's $20.
Yeah.
Like, because you have literally just blown your budget on one round of drinks, right? Whereas then there's other people in the group that don't do that. You know what I mean?
And like it goes back to beer when it's there.
Yeah, and then it goes back to beer when it's their round. Like, there's always people that avoid that. There was a really good... Oh, actually, no, that was on... Never mind, I don't want to talk about that. That's been on someone else's podcast.
No, you can talk about it. No,
No.
one listens to the other podcasts.
Sorry?
No one listens to other people's podcasts.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, like you have to imagine that people don't. Just bring it up. I'm just curious.
That when you go out, and I'll give credit. This is like Jamie spoke about this on his one.
Oh, that's why.
That's why I don't want to bring it
yeah,
up.
never mind.
Okay,
No, bring it up. Tell me.
Is like when someone says, "Oh, look, can you get my missus a drink as well while you're up?" Or when you stand up at the table and you go, "Hey, does anyone want a drink?"
Yeah.
And 2 of the boys go, "Yeah," and then his missus goes, "Yeah," as well.
Yeah.
You're buying beers for the 3 boys, but then the missus wants a fucking mojito or something. Yeah. Which is like $20 for the drink instead of the $8 you're paying for the beers. Are you allowed to be like, sort your girlfriend out, you're getting that for her?
Sort your girlfriend out.
No, as in like you can go and get her drink.
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying $20 for her mojito.
Yeah.
For then her not to get a round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's your missus, so you're going to get the round and think that counts as her round.
Yeah. Okay. So, I will speak from experience. If me and Kush were out, she'd pull away.
Yeah. That's
Like,
good.
and she also
Kush
wouldn't.
is good though.
She wouldn't get a mojito unless we were all getting mojitos. Like, she'd drink a beer. Actually, she drinks a lot of beer. She actually drinks more than I drink right now.
Does Kush have a drinking problem?
Kush has a drinking and marijuana problem.
She's also living in a country where it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it still? That's a good question. Is it still frowned upon, even though it's completely legal?
Yeah.
Is it frowned upon from an employer point of view?
I don't know. I hope I didn't just get her in trouble. I doubt her employer listens to that. Uneducated Opinions.
I doubt it. We had like 6 plays on last week's episode. Actually, while we're on it, we didn't have 6, by the way. We had much more than that. But
7.
7, yeah. That's much more in a percentage base. Like that's much more. But on that note, I had 2 new people tell me that they listen to the podcast
That's awesome.
again this week. So Adjutant.
See, I feel like you're bringing a lot more listeners. No one talks to me about that. I didn't even know if we have listeners. Yeah, but I thought you were lying.
He was lying. Adjutant.
I actually brought that up with Steve, and Steve was like, "You realize that he was lying?" And I was like, "Oh."
I knew you were lying straight away, Jack. Adjun told me this morning that he listened to a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Really random. And then...
Do you know that guy always wears long sleeve t-shirts? Oh, long sleeve shirts?
Not always.
Yeah, but like a lot of the time.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
he has...
Skin issues?
No, I think he has wings.
Wings. Oh, okay. He always wears a shirt.
Mm.
He'll never wear like a singlet, ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen him wear a singlet. He's been living in Darwin for nearly 2 years now.
With the long sleeve shirt that he's never changed?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, unbelievable, right? But him and a good friend of mine from school as well, Matt Burrows, who I'm sure will listen to it. He was in an airport and he decided to listen to the first one. He's on his way back from Europe.
Yeah.
And then he downloaded all the episodes and he got up to like episode 8 on one of the flights.
Wow.
And then he messaged me again and he was like, episode 7's my favourite.
What's episode 7?
I can't remember.
I feel like that's an outdoor episode.
Maybe it wasn't episode 7, maybe it was episode 6 or something. And he offered to, he does like, he's a sound engineer, but he offered to make us like, he's like, I really like it, so if you'd like a little jingle or something to separate
Yes,
segments or
please. I would love an opening jingle, like the Steve and Andy Show. Uneducated Opinions.
On that, we're going to have to wrap up.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for listening, guys, to episode 14 of the Uneducated Opinions. You can follow me, Steve, at Steve Norman 250, and Andy.
You want it to be in your hand now?
Yeah.
You're asking a lot,
I
Steve.
do, in my hand. And Train with Andy on Instagram. Fuck. And you can follow us at the Uneducated Opinions on Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to hit subscribe on the YouTube and that little notifications bell as well, so that you are let know every time we release something new.
And guys, for 15% off your baby tan lotion, go to www.babytanlotion.com.au. Get yourself 15% off and tag us in your blackface or whatever you want to do with it.
Thanks, guys.